Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. I hope you're all well. So today I wanted to do a Valentine's Day video, but I don't really know what Valentine's Day makeup or date makeup is. I guess it's kind of different for everyone since we all have our own styles and we all have our different levels of comfort with how much makeup we wear or what colours we wear. So instead, I thought I would make a look out of your kind of traditional Valentine's Day colours, so reds and pinks. And I actually got a request to do a red eyeshadow look from one of you guys as well, so here you go. As always, I've started off with a primer and a flat base colour. So here I'm applying a pink eyeshadow on the inner and the outer thirds of the lid, and then kind of blending it through and connecting the two through the socket, leaving that centre part of the lid clear for now. Next, I'm taking this red eyeshadow from Colourpop and I'm starting to slowly build up that red colour, again in the outer and inner thirds and through the socket. Red can be a pretty scary colour to use, so the reason I use this Super Shock shadow from Colourpop first is because they tend to not go on quite as strongly when you apply them with a brush instead of your finger. So I'm just taking it slowly and I'm keeping it nice and controlled, and I'm just going to build up that colour until I'm happy with the shape. I don't want to lose any of that pink eyeshadow on the lid though, so every now and then when I lose some of that intensity from blending or whatever, I'm just going to keep adding that back in there. Next, I'm going to go ahead and deepen that red now that I'm happy with the shape, and the red I'm going to be using is just from one of those palettes with like thousands of colours in. I don't actually have a single red eyeshadow, but if you guys know of any, please let me know, because after doing this look, I've fallen in love with red eyeshadow. And I'd like to have a single one I could recommend to people instead of being like, you have to buy this whole palette. Since this shadow is a bit more pigmented this time, I'm going to be placing it with a smaller brush and then moving up to a fluffier blending brush to blend it out and upwards. And again, I'm just going back in with that pink eyeshadow at the edges. Next, I'm applying a highlight underneath my brow. I don't know why now was a good idea to do it. I guess because I'm going to use the same colour on the centre of the lids as well. Depending on what glitter you use, you could also use a similar coloured eyeshadow as well. So if you go for something more gold, you could use a gold base colour, or pink, you can use pink. Then next I'm going to add the glitter. So I used to use a flat brush to add glitter, but recently I've been using this Duo Fibre blend brush from Sigma. I'm not sure what this is actually used for, but I use it for glitter. So I squeeze a bit of the adhesive out of the tube onto the back of my hand, and then I just tap into it with the brush, and because the bristles are so sparse, it doesn't pick up just massive globules of product. So I apply that adhesive on the centre of the lid, and then those bristles are still going to have a bit of stick to them, so I dip that brush right in the glitter, and then I just pop that over the lid too, and then overlap it onto the red ever so slightly, kind of in this triangle kind of shape. So for liner, I think a straight up black eyeliner would look lovely, but I wanted to mix it up a bit. So today I used a deep wine colour. This is actually a liquid lipstick from Too Faced. And again, I just kind of deposited the product onto the back of my hand and then picked it up from there and applied it with an angled brush. I kept the line quite thin across the lid, and usually I like to make my wing pretty thick because I just prefer how it looks in photos. But today the lashes I'm going to wear, they're 3/4 lashes, so they kind of pull the eyes outward. So I focus more on pulling that wing out and keeping it close to the lash line. So moving on to underneath the eye, I think the key to wearing looks that include so much red and pink is to keep this inner corner nice and bright, and then that way you're going to avoid looking sick, which I know is what puts a lot of people off wearing looks like this. So I removed any product that was around that inner corner, and then I used a cream coloured eyeliner to hide any of that red. I also find that having something a bit more graphic in that inner corner instead of just blending the pink or red shade under there, again, just helps things look a bit more deliberate and less like you're sick. So that's why I decided to go with that sharp red line there. So I apply a few different shades underneath the eye, so I started with that sharp red line, and then I added some pink eyeshadow all the way across, just blending out with a little pencil brush. Then I added some red over the top, leaving some of that pink eyeshadow peeking out at the bottom. Then finally I added a dark purple. I thought it would tie in really nicely with the liner on top, so I just kind of brought that in from the outside, around 2/3 of the way underneath I guess, and then just blended that all together. To brighten up that inner corner even more and the darkness at the sides of my nose like I usually do, I just added my usual highlight shade, the one that I applied underneath my brow and also on my lid today. Then I made the ballsy decision to run a red liner across my waterline, and I'm so glad I did because I absolutely adore it. I want to wear this all the time. Again, make sure you stop before you reach that inner corner area. Try to stop where you bring the eyeshadow down into that point. So for my lashes, I'm wearing these absolutely beautiful lashes from SocialEyes today. These are the style Whiplash, and they're my current go-tos. I'll take absolutely any excuse to wear them. Going to the shop, Whiplash. Going to pee, Whiplash. Sleeping, Whiplash. I freaking love them. I haven't had them for that long. I featured them in a haul whenever I got them. And considering I don't wear makeup every single day, I've worn these upwards of 10 times, and that's a huge deal. They're fantastic, I love them. Then moving on to the lips, part of me really wanted to use the lipstick I'd used for the liner for the lips as well, but I didn't really want to take any attention away from the eyes because I was really happy with how they turned out, so I refrained and I used my go-to nudish lip liner, I guess. It's like a brownie pink, but when it's blended out it's quite natural looking. It's in the shade Ex-Girlfriend from the Urban Decay and Gwen Stefani collection thing. And then I used an Urban Decay lip gloss as well. I don't remember which shade this is, so I'll write it down below as usual. Actually, this lip gloss had a fucking ton of hairs in it, and I don't know why, like green twine, I guess from packaging or something. This is the first time I'd used it, so it's not something I've accidentally got in there. It came like this, which is kind of gross. So I guess I won't be using this again, which is a shame because this is a banging shade. If I wasn't so cheap, I'd repurchase it. So while I was filming, Jess, or J Kisser, posted this photo with this little heart underneath the eye, and I thought it was adorable, so I wanted to do it too. My only tip for this is to use something that's liquid. Don't use like a hard pen or anything, and just commit to it. And remember that it's only makeup and you can wash it off if you mess up. So just go for it. But then that's it. I really hope you enjoyed watching this video and you can hopefully get some use out of this look. Make sure you tag me or post a link here or something if you do recreate it. I always love seeing what you guys are getting up to. As always, thank you guys for watching, and I'll speak to you next time.